I'm Jake Maki. I live on the North Shore, but I was raised on the Big Island, and I moved over here about 3 years ago. I first started surfing when I was probably about 5 years old, somewhere around then. I learned to surf on the Big Island. My dad taught me how to surf. One of the first memories I have of surfing, I was at a beach near Hilo on the Big Island called Honolulu. And my dad pushed me in and I was riding all the way and I didn't know how to kick out because it was one of my first waves. And I ended up going up onto the beach and I got all scratched up on the rocks, but riding the wave made it worth it. So yeah, I kept surfing.
Because I know Honolulu, like those rocks hurt under your feet.
No, my board was fine.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Awesome.
And then some other early memories of surfing. I'd get pushed in on a soft top at this beach called Hapuna, and it's sand bottom, so it's a little more friendly for learning. And yeah, that was a couple of my first memories. My dad would always push me in and stuff. Surfing is really fun, and I think a lot of kids should start doing it. It's a good, healthy activity, and if you want to get into surfing, you should start out on like a beginner board, not like a short board, but like a long board or a soft top. You definitely want to ask some questions. If you know anybody who surfs or who's comfortable in the water, you want to ask some questions and just know some of the safety aspects when you paddle out in the water.
That's
yeah.
super important too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now I have a 6.0 shaped by Brian King, and that's like my short board, and I'll ride that at Rocky Point.
Cool. So what goes through your head when you're out there? Because I've seen you in some pretty shaky stuff. So how do you keep calm? Like what are some thoughts that goes through your head when you're dropping into something that big?
I guess when I'm out there, I kind of just pay attention to all the things going on in the water, like the current and where the waves are breaking. And when I'm on a wave, at Pipeline at least, I focus on just making the drop and pulling into the barrel, because I think when you're in the barrel, you're a little safer than going straight and the lip could land on you. A few years back, I got to go to Indonesia with my dad, and I surfed in Bali and Grajagan, G-Land. It's a big left, and that was super cool. And I've been to Australia and California, and sometimes when I'm in California, I'll go drive down to Baja and surf down there. And I've been lucky enough to travel to Fiji twice, and I've surfed like cloud break and restaurants and all the spots down there. And I think one thing I really like about travel is that you get to experience a bunch of different cultures and get to meet a lot of surfers from around the world and experience a bunch of different things. My dream location would maybe be the Mentawai Islands or the Maldive Islands. It just looks like it's like perfect waves and not too crowded.
And the water is like always
gorgeous
and clean and clear.
Yeah, and definitely I want to go back to Fiji because cloud break is one of my favorite waves.
Awesome.
Yeah. Some of my biggest inspirations would be Kalani Chapman, Uncle Kalani. He's been surfing Pipeline his whole life, and he knows the wave out there super well, and he also surfs really big waves, and I've paddled out with him a couple times at the outer reefs, and it's always fun to surf with him. And another one of my favorite surfers is Mason Ho, because he's super creative when he surfs, and he's super nice and super cool guy. Yeah.
Awesome.
So I grew up on the Big Island, and I used to live in North Kohala, and that's like the most northern part of the Big Island. Then I moved over here, and I've been living here for about 3 years.
Okay. Next question is, when you coming back Big Island?
I'm gonna try and come back to the Big Island soon and go surf over there and see all my friends.
Awesome. Okay. LMFAO Lori wants to know, where's the best wave?
I think the best wave in Hawaii is Pipeline.
Okay, Noah wants to know, what makes you surf big waves?
I think surfing big waves, I like to surf big waves because you like get a lot of adrenaline, and it's fun. Like I don't know how to
Yeah, it's fun, a lot of adrenaline, and it's just that rush you get from, you know, being in the water.
Yeah, there's definitely a rush when the waves are huge.
Okay, Noah wants to know, how are the waves at Pipe right now?
Today the swell dropped a little, and I think it turned more north. I don't think it's that great, but there's still probably a couple. Backdoor probably has some.
Okay. Let's see. Julianne wants to know, when are we going to get to surf together?
Whenever I get to come back to the Big Island, or if you want to come up here.
There you go. Hayden wants to know, what's your favorite board in your quiver?
My favorite board, it was a 6'6" shaped by Brian King, but that broke on one of the last swells.
Bummer. Okay, Jace wants to know, when you coming back to Kahala, bro?
Whenever I can.
And Mom wants to know, who inspires you the most?
Mom. I think I'm most inspired by a lot of the local pipe guys, and also my dad, who's a fireman, and he was a lifeguard, and he knows a lot about ocean safety and all the lifeguards on the North Shore too. This board, this is a 7'6", and this is the board that I rode out at Second Reef Pipeline on one of the New Year's swells. I think it was New Year's Day, and I did some spray paint polka dots on it. Yeah, it's a 7'6", and this one was given to me by Maki Red. This next board, this is a 6'5". I just picked this up yesterday. This was shaped by Uncle Brett, which is one of my neighbors, and has a 5-fin setup, so I could go thruster or quad. Yeah, 6'5", almost 30 liters. Can't wait to try this one out. This one, this is a 6'4", I also picked up yesterday. It's got a swallowtail. Also a 5-fin option, so I'm gonna start trying some quad setups out at Pipeline, and this one looks really good. Can't wait to try this one. Brand new. This is a 7'0", shaped by Brian King, and I'll probably use this at Big Sunset or Pipeline, maybe Second Reef, or just sitting on the outside. This one is 33.5 liters, and all my boards from Brian, they have black rails on it. This one is just a thruster option. This is a 6'0". It's been my most recent short board, and I just ride it as a thruster, shaped by Brian King. This big one, this is a 10'2". Massive. I've ridden this at one of the outer reef lefts, and it paddles super good. It's like a boat. I can barely fit my arm around it, and I'm hoping to ride it on some of the upcoming swells. And I use the Peahi leash. It's like the thickest leash they make for surfing. This was shaped by Chuck Andrews. It's a 10.2 by 21.5. Originally shaped for Maki Red or Maki O'Shaughnessy. This is definitely my nicest board. It's got color and nice glass job, and it's huge. Ready for some big waves. This is my helmet. It's a Gaff sports helmet, and I use it every time I surf pipeline. I use it because pipeline is like known to be one of the most dangerous waves in the world, and people have died out there and got seriously injured, and it's just a thing for safety. Like, if I want to keep surfing out there, I gotta be safe, and I've actually hit the reef a lot on this helmet, like scraped the top and side, and if I wouldn't have had it, I might not even be here today. Like, I've had some serious wipeouts and hit the reef with this helmet. And another thing I like about this helmet is if I'm watching like a YouTube video of somebody filming pipeline, I can spot myself out there, or Surfline rewinds, I can know it's me by wearing the white helmet. And at first it's kind of hard getting used to wearing it, but I've been wearing a helmet for a couple years already out there, so I'm used to it, and I think it gives me more confidence surfing out there, just because it's a little bit more safe, and if I do hit the reef, there's a better chance of not getting as hurt.